Basically, what we have now are two new models, multimodal models for image manipulation. One is Omnigen 2, which has been released very recently, and also has been announced a bit earlier, the Flux Kontext model from Black Forest Labs, and now we get access to the dev model, which can be used locally, and this is what we're going to do. So yeah, what they basically do is they are very useful for image manipulation. You can do style transfer, you can have character consistency, which is always very sought after. You can combine different images into one. You can change aspects of images like lighting or environment or something. For example, you can see here the snow is added with the context model. You start basically with an image or multiple images, and you also give a prompt, and they together form a new idea of images that will be created in the process. Yeah, there's a paper associated with the Omnigen2 model. Both of them can be accessed online. You can take a look at the GitHub repo of Omnigen2, and on the website of Black Forest Labs you will find what they call a playground. So even if you don't have ComfyUI, you can quickly test it here. You get a few credits for free. So here you click try in playground, and then you can fool around with it. Same with Omnigen. You click on online demo and choose one. And here also you can use multiple images to maybe combine people or combine a person with a background or something like that, which can, of course, also be done in ComfyUI. Let's start with Omnigen. You can get the workflow from the description of the YouTube link, and you will also find it on my Civitai page. Let's start by downloading the models, because I haven't done so yet. I guess we can get them through the model manager. Let's search for Omnigen2. And we need this, which is a clip model, a text encoder, and we need the diffusion model. Let's just select them both and click install. This might take a couple of minutes. Once the download is finished, we just need to refresh and go back. So there's no restart required. You should see the models then here in this list. We might later move them to a subfolder. But for now, let's just try this prompt, make this man young. So this is the input image. It gets loaded here, resized if it is too big or too small to 1 megapixels. And then it gets fed into those reference latent nodes, which are also used for Flux content. And this is the prompt that is also going to be fed in there. And let's see what the result is. Let me quickly remove this save image node and put in this one, and also image compare, so we can see what it looks like next to the original one. And let's run it. So it's loading the model now and the clip model. Get a little preview here. If you don't have it, you can change that in the settings. It's this preview method here I've chosen, a rather fast one. Okay, let's see. I must say there is a similarity, but I'm not too happy with the style. It doesn't look like a painting anymore. So we could maybe see if we can add a prompt for that. But you can see that it's actually using this image as a reference through this reference latent node here. And that's the idea about it, so that you can give directions based upon an image. So there's again a similarity, and he indeed looks a bit younger, but the quality is not that impressive, I'd say. Okay, let's try something else, maybe a different perspective. There's also some choices here. Let's change the shot type to long shot and perspective to low angle. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so there is a similarity. The hair is similar, but this is not really a long shot. Perspective hasn't changed as much as I would have liked. You can see the similarity in the clothes. I'm not too impressed, but it also isn't that bad. This took roughly 15 gigabytes of VRAM. So you know what kind of graphics card you use to run this kind of model. Now let's take a look at Flux Kontext. Maybe we can do the same input image. Must be somewhere here. Lots of trash in here. There he is. Okay, let's get the same prompts here. That would be nice if I could copy this from one to the other. Okay, let's do it like this then. Make this man young and show a different perspective. Long shot, low angle. Let's see. So about the Flux Kontext, I will put the links where you can download the different models for your own needs, and let me quickly open them. They will be in the description. It's a bit much. So this is the original model from Black Forest Labs, the guys who are making Flux. This is just 23 gigabytes in size, so rather big, and you really need a high-end graphics card to run it. So I'm talking 3090 and upwards, 4090, 5090, and there are smaller versions from other people that distill the model. Here you get an FP8 version that is only 11 gigabytes, and there are even more quantized versions from here. I recommend, if you're not sure about this, first of all, let's take a look maybe at quantization. What is it? And here is a little description. It's a technique to reduce the computational and memory costs of running inference by representing the weights and activations with low precision data types like 8-bit integer instead of the usual 32-bit floating points. So this is much easier to handle for low-end or mid-range graphics cards. And if you wanna learn which model is best for you for your graphic card, you can go here to the settings and put in the kind of card you have. I put a 3060 here. You just click here and select the GPU provider and the model. For example, if you have a RTX 3090, as I do here in this machine, you add the item, and let's remove this one, and then you go back and you see here what models can or are recommended to run on this card. So I should get the Q8 with 12 gigabytes from these models. But if you have a low-end card, you can maybe, with less great results, of course, go down to one of the other quantized versions. But actually, the 16-bit version is running, but it's running on fumes, basically. So with this workflow, you can switch here. If you are getting the GGUF versions, you need a unit loader. And for the FP8 and the original model, the Kontext Dev version from Black Forest Labs, you need this model loader, and you can switch them here. I'm trying the FP8 now. Here we have our input image. The red nodes are the ones that are new and specific for this kind of workflow. The other ones are rather standard ones. You have a dual clip loader, which you wouldn't need in the Omnigen. He has this single clip type that is used. And yeah, I think let's run the test. How well Flux Kontext performs in comparison. Yeah, this is of course very close, but the man is not younger at all. Let's try to just achieve this for a second. Yeah, I think this is a little bit better result than what we had with Omnigen. At least the style looks more similar. You see the clothes are very close to it. We can again try to add a similar prompt for the artistic style and run it again. All right. Let's say we are going to have a photograph, photorealistic, and we're going to make him ride a Harley Davidson. Let's prepare the same in Omnigen. By the way, if you are having any trouble loading the models or finding the missing nodes, stuff like that, you can look at my previous tutorials. I will also link them, which explain the basics of how to use ComfyUI. This is a bit of an advanced, maybe, tutorial. Yeah, he looks still a bit painterly, not really convincing, I think. Let's see how Omnigen performs in this. Yeah, I must say this is somehow worse. He looks very different, the guy. But yeah, to some degree, I must say it worked. So I guess I will wrap up this rather unscientific comparison between the two. You should try for yourself. Maybe one last thing, you actually can use multiple images for input. You would just append them or merge them into one. So let's try that real quick. Let's get rid of the, oh no, let's just keep it. Okay, for example, if you want to have a second person and you want to bring them both together, let's see if we have another one real quick. This is a weird mix. You can stitch them together like that. And of course, it needs to be rescaled after that. And let's pipe in that one. Okay, let's see. Let's put the two people in the same room. Restaurant. You can also change the aspect ratio, of course, for the output. It doesn't have to be the same. Those images are actually not the same aspect ratio anyways, but we can easily put a 16:9 aspect ratio here for the next generation, maybe. So you see here we have the result. The two people sitting at the same table in the restaurant. Not too bad this time, I must say. Yeah, it's really hard to say which one is better. My final verdict is that I like Flux Kontext a little bit better. And one last remark, I think you have to put a negative prompt in the Omnigen. So be sure to select something here, put in a negative prompt here. You can also add multiple if you like. And it will produce definitely better results. In Flux, for Flux, you don't need that. So Flux doesn't have a negative prompt, doesn't accept one. So this node is unconnected here, as you can see. That's it for now. And goodbye.